Guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be reacting to the Trolls Infection AU. Let's go.
After doing videos on the AUs you guys have been requesting, I've noticed one terrible truth about all of them. Nobody's safe. And don't worry, I'll try to cover all of the AUs being sent to me. I just had a cold come up out of nowhere, but right now, this...
I'm sorry. I'm getting sorry about Captain, so I can barely hear it, but... What is that? Wait.
story takes place in the world of trolls. Before things get dark, I want you guys to keep in mind that trolls are tiny, bright, colorful creatures who basically live in a musical animated kingdom led by their queen, Poppy. There's also different tribes based on different musical genres like pop, rock, funk, and even hip-hop, where they live, sing, dance, hug, and value joy in their home more than anything else. But sadly, in this universe, everything joyful
That's a knee slapper right there. What is that?
Has been infected. The AU starts off by giving us files loaded with some of the character stats, presenting us with Guy Diamond's first, has been infected. The AU starts off.
Shortly after the outbreak, Guy Diamond volunteers to take Poppy's place as the nanny for Pop Village children. As more and more parents are infected, Diamond's responsibilities becoming draining, caring for several distressed children alone, while still making sure to care for his own son.
By giving us files loaded with some of the character stats, presenting us with Guy Diamond's first. We can see that he's negative, so he luckily has not been infected, and we're shown his levels of sanity, stress, and health. But also, we can see that he's starving based off his hunger and thirst.
It's hunger. Hunger and meat, if it was 100%, then you'd be starving.
Fortunately, it makes sense because, as you can see, he did volunteer to be the lead babysitter of all the children in the village after the outbreak. So not only does he have his own kid to take care of now, but he also has everyone else's, including the ones who've lost their parents. Imagine if one dad had to make sure more than 50 kids were clean, fed, entertained, and put to rest. I can see why he's in distress. Poppy's kinda doing well, she's pretty healthy, but she's been starving herself as well.
To be honest, Poppy sucks.
Mostly because not only is her boyfriend Branch missing, but she's been feeling like a failure as the queen. Obviously because of how many people are being infected. It's gotten so bad, she's even isolated herself away from everyone. She even says, "Is Branch back yet?" whenever someone comes and checks on her. If you watch any of the Trolls series, you know that this is kinda outlandish for her to do. They're all about happiness and staying close to one another. They even have a bracelet that lets them know to hug each other every single day, which lets us know how dark this AU is going to be going forward. Poppy's boyfriend, Branch, has been missing days before the outbreak, and we'll learn more about that soon. On the other hand, King Peppy, who's Poppy's father, looks very emotional and is sadly in stage 1 of the infection. One interesting thing I noticed is that he also has a new stat compared to everyone else, being recorded labeled aggression, which possibly could be a trait from the infection. I'm guessing when he first found out he was infected, to make sure his daughter...
Hold up. While assisting Creek's mysterious wounds after his return, King Peppy contracts the infection. After him and other trolls grow sicker, and Creek suddenly going missing alongside Branch, he ordered all healthy trolls into Branch's bunker, leaving him and other infected trolls above surface. Poppy is now searching for Branch and Creek alone. Peppy, I'm so stupid. Poppy is now searching for Branch and Creek alone. Poppy does not know of Puppy's absence.
Everyone else was safe. He'd separated the infected from the non-infected. And if you watched the first movie, you'll know that this isn't everyone's first time being in Branch's bunker, because he built it for protection against these creatures called the Bergens that ate trolls to stay happy, way back before they were allies. But anyways, Pepe seems to be coughing blood, and with tears coming down his face, he says, "I must find Creek. All my life I've been running and hiding, and I refuse to be that man anymore. So he grabbed his lantern one late night and entered the troll forest on a mission saying, "Branch, Creek,
Branch?
where are you?" After a while, Creek was finally found, but in a condition we've never seen him in before. Eyes wide, smiling in the dark, like he's been waiting for this moment.
Why is he built like that?
Peppy went missing that night. Meanwhile,
King Peppy had this entire thing like a stand down of being the washed character. I will start my villain arc, and then gets cooked immediately.
Bergentown Medical Sciences puts out a public announcement for their citizens due to high concerns. Be advised, the broadcast you're going to watch are showing off the results of the scientists' research. Keep in mind that they are 100% confident that they have found the truth behind the infection, confirming to us that it's not a virus, but it's in fact a pathogenic fungus called Pontus fungus. Just know that this fungus changes the behavior within its victims, and its main target are small organisms because of their soft tissue, and infected will all have different symptoms depending on your size. Trolls with the fungus will experience organisms because of their soft tissue, and infected will all have different symptoms depending on your size. Trolls with the fungus will experience swelling, hair loss, self-destruction, leaking fungal matter from their orifices, which basically is mold and fungi coming out of all and every hole in your body. And I'm not going into detail. The virus can be spread from spores on the skin and more easily through skin-to-skin contact. They also say something interesting, which are vacationers and other creatures are immune or if not have minor symptoms compared to trolls. But another thing is, Raygens are banned from entrance. And the Bergens broadcasted this emergency warning for the citizens.
We interrupt our current program by the demand of the Bergentown State Militia. This is an emergency announcement to alert Bergentown residents. This is not a drill. All programs have been interrupted. Please listen carefully for further instructions.
Attention Bergentown residents. At 2:53 a.m. February 4th, authorities have been alerted to a recent surge of Raygun sightings in the northern Bergentown area. These incidents pose a serious threat to public safety. We urge all residents to stay inside and exercise extreme caution at all times. Local law enforcement agencies are actively investigating these incidents and deploying additional resources to address the situation. However, we urge everyone to take proactive measures to safeguard themselves and their families through the following methods. Lock all doors and windows. Turn off all room lights. Gather everyone away from doors and windows. Additionally, we encourage residents to remain armed with a lethal weapon and to keep fully covered if available. You hear knocking at any door or window? Do not answer. Remain calm and stay out of sight. Has entered your home. Do not panic. Remain calm and stay out of sight. You have been cornered by a Raygun. Fight and do not let the Raygun leave open wounds. You possess a firearm and spot a Raygun at any location. Aim and fire the target on sight.
Yes, both are blicky.
Do not stop
With the Glock.
until the Raygun is no longer moving. If you witness any suspicious activity or signs of an attack, please do not hesitate to contact emergency services immediately. Your cooperation is crucial in ensuring the safety and security of our community. We advise avoiding isolated areas, traveling in groups whenever possible, and refraining from engaging with any potential infected threats. Please stay tuned to local news outlets and official channels for updates and safety advisories. Together, we can work to mitigate this threat and protect our community from harm. Stay safe. Remember, finding the cure starts with you.
No, it doesn't. It starts with y'all. Y'all probably started it anyway. Who knows? The government probably started it.
The recording ends here with a Raygun knocking on their window, most likely because of their lights being on. Their fate.
Just imagine, like, you're playing in here. Just imagine. you're not wondering that
fate is unknown. Before the emergency
They're done,
broadcast
that's
I
what.
just showed you, somebody hacked
They're
the
dead.
last broadcast and put on a plethora of videos and messages. And ever since then, panic erupted amongst all nations. The clip I'm about to show you caused mass hoardings of water bottles across all markets. There's even people using this to get an extra $1 out of this situation. As people are so desperate for water, they're forced to buy from scalpers who are overpricing regular water bottles. These scalpers are even taking cruel measures by putting air in the water, like they're doing a Lay's bag scheme.
Oh my stud.
It's in the water. It's in the water.
It's in the
It's in
water.
the water. It's in the
What?
water.
The fungus?
It's in the water. 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 It's in
My goat Cooper? Or is that Creek? If it's... Nah. It's Creek, I don't care. If it's Cooper, yeah.
Branch is still alive, and he's reaching out to Poppy and the people. Now in the next part, we get more information on the status of other characters.
No.
Branch is still alive, and he's reaching out to Poppy and the people. Now in the next part, we get more information on...
Where's Mr. Dinkles? Hold up. Let's read Biggie's. Please, I can't keep doing this without him. What happened? The mass transfer of healthy trolls to the bunker was mayhem, and during the chaos, Mr. Dinkles was lost. Regardless, Biggie was forced to move into the bunker without him. Each day, Biggie wakes up more panicked until sleep was not possible. After 2 weeks, Biggie disappeared. Damn, he left. Being one of the first trolls to contract the infection. Damn. My guy Cooper was the GOAT. Cooper is one of the known later stage sick individuals. Documented symptoms include color loss, whole body swelling, vomiting, and tooth decay. Signs of white mold seem to be growing on the fur. When awake, frantic pacing has been noted. While demanding for a bath, it appears that Cooper may be falling in and out of consciousness. Yeah, Cooper's good.
the status of other characters.
Ritter.
Now Floyd is
I'm not
kind
gonna
of
go
doing good, but of course is starving. And he's caught my eye as a suspicious character in this AU, because weeks before the outbreak it says that he barricaded himself in his own home. It's
Buddy knows something. No, Buddy knows something. He has one little trickety trick up his sleeve for sure.
also been said that he's constantly on the internet,
31 minutes. Oh, okay.
checking every location he knows of. And it's said he seemingly knows more than what's documented about the outbreak. So Floyd barricaded himself, is cooking his water, and has alcohol and other cleaning products in his home. It's possible Floyd knows exactly how this started, and someone told him to do this, which is why he says, "Please not the prisons." If you've seen the recent troll movie Band Together, you could see why Floyd would do something like this and betray the trolls by not telling them about the infection before it starts. Last time he was locked up, he almost lost his life. And this wouldn't be the first time a troll went out
Why
and
is he
betrayed
flying
his
away
people
like
to
that?
protect his own back, as this happened with Creek. When in the first film, Creek sold everybody else so that the Bergens eat them instead of him.
No, it wasn't Floyd that tried to get everyone instead of him. It was the stupid Belba and Veneer. They tricked the trolls by sending the note. It wasn't Floyd. You're stupid.
Delta Dawn is doing horrible.
What about the
She's
stupid
on
little kid in her
stage
hair?
3 of the infection, which is the highest we've seen anyone yet.
And her hair
And
goes
it looks
up.
like she's been gruesomely gnawing and chewing on herself because there's some substance crawling under her skin like an
Wait a
itch.
minute. There's a hoof back there. What are eyes right here? What is going on?
so bad
She's chewing
that
on her
scratching
teeth.
with your
On her
teeth
damn-
is better than your nails. She's eating herself, saying, not enough space, while also saying, I need a bath. Now, one thing I know about mold and fungus is that they mature in water, and they love it. Then this could be the reason why she wants a bath so bad. Queen Poppy, on the other hand, is doing way worse than a week before. She's still negative of the virus, but still is barely eating and also is way more stressed than before. She also says thank you Bridget, who's a very well-known Bergen, so she has moved to Bergen Town and out of the bunker, which unfortunately, thank you Bridget, who's a very well-known Bergen, so she has moved to Bergen Town and
Oh no, King Peppy's. King Peppy, you're freaky. Why are you in your underwear, King Peppy? That bridge staring at King Peppy.
out of the bunker, which unfortunately means something went down at the bunker. Here, what happened to Essence and Quincy is kind of devastating, as they're the leaders of Vibe City, and not only have they lost both of their sons, but they inevitably will lose all of the people in town to the infection, with them being infected as well. With them saying sorry, what did we do wrong, while accepting the fate that the infection has for them. Compared to everyone else, Vibe City followed the rules more strictly. They wore masks, and they even did no social gatherings. But where they messed up, it also says that they've been taking baths daily. And remember, it's in the water. Techno Reef has fallen. It's gatherings. But where they messed up, it also says that they've been taking baths daily. And remember, it's
looks like the fungus is twerking.
In the water. Techno Reef has fallen. It's in the water. Symphonyville has been destroyed. The Bergens are immune to the fungus, so their kingdom is standing strong for now. And sadly, the virus is affecting trolls no matter where they go. Which brings us to Barbara, who's the queen of Rock City. She's negative with the virus and actually, believe it or not, doesn't even know what's going on around the world. She hasn't been eating, but it's most likely because it's revealed that her town is flooded. And Poppy and nobody have told her anything, which is why she says, is she ghosting me?
Bro, how do you not know about the facts?
And as she comes and checks on Poppy, she's walking through the bunker. And she says, yo, what happened here? Gnarly. Then something grabs her and pulls her into the dark. Whoa, what are you doing? Back off, man. Get your hands off of me. Stop. Stand back. I'm warning you, man. And within the dark, infected Biggie stands.
Why do you build like a Paw Patrol character? What is he wearing on his
Smiling, watching her beg for mercy in his water. Now I told you about the cities that are going to fall, have been destroyed, and have been washed away, consumed by the fungus. But similar to the Bergens, one of them still stands. The home of the Reagans, also known as teenagers within trolls. Now remember, the scientists told all nations to burn everything that's contaminated. But sadly, plastic doesn't burn. It just melts.
How did it get some contamination?
If you haven't noticed by now, the Reagan city was burned down due to contamination problems and other possible agendas.
Aren't they the same size as the
this didn't
Bergens
fix the problem
in the movie?
because plastic stays after melting and spreads, which ironically is what the citizens did.
Doesn't make sense.
After it burned. Their skin is made out of vinyl tapes. They are plastic, causing the survivors to spread amongst all nations, not fixing the believed problem at all. In the next part, we're given more lore about the fungus. The Pontus fungus is not naturally aggressive. It doesn't attack unless prompted or given a good reason, which is when someone's usually in their territory, and only take control of a host so they can be taken to a body of water. It's almost like it's using their body as a taxi to just get in some water. Now it's clear why Delta Dawn wanted a bath so bad, and it felt like somebody was trying to get out of her skin. And this is when they show us what they look like. They are harmless, dark creatures.
Is that Venom?
And it's revealed that they are only hostile when something is getting in the way of it maturing. And that brings us to the Reagans. The Reagans are special creatures to the fungus.
Yeah,
Not only do
massive,
they
like the
have
Bergen.
vinyl plastic skin, but they also have no lungs, no veins, and no heart beating. And their skin can't absorb water, but the fungus can still make its way inside of their body. The only problem is, it needs water. The fungus will get
so
more.
you're saying they can get in that? Hold up. Let me show you. Shut up. Huh? Oh my, I forgot about that. Go to this. Okay. I spell Reagans. Reagan. Mount Reagans? That's what they're called? Really? Which retard stopped asking? Did the Murphy stop eating the trolls? Yes, that was the entire point of the first movie.
More aggressive, but also wait until it can sprout, causing the Reagans to fight back
The Reagans
by
aren't even in
stretching
the trolls.
and stretch
So I'm confused.
and stretch and stretch and never break until eventually the Pontus adapted. It has changed them and made them more hungry. More files are shown to us, starting out with
Call it
John
BS, I don't
Dory,
think they should be
who's
infected.
pretty healthy but just badly injured. It seems that he was trying to get away from everybody and all of the infection stuff, but is sadly forced to be stuck here. Who doesn't want to leave his brother behind, who actually took care of him after he was caught by a Reagan mob and got beaten up and barely was able to escape and survive. Now, John's brother Bruce, on the other hand, isn't infected, but misses his family a lot. And wants to leave, but doesn't want to leave his brother
the most
behind.
normal troll
But sadly,
here, I don't
he
know.
isolates himself in a box all day, so they'll never both know that they both want to leave and leave. Clay is probably doing the best out of any troll. He's been babysitting, reading books, and making sure he's getting enough fun.
But
Viva's probably my favorite character off this look alone, but is looking the coldest out of everyone. She is Poppy's sister, so I'm not surprised that she's doing well, or
Yeah,
kinda doing well, as she doesn't really trust anybody after finding herself trapped for a second time after leaving the golf course. Clay convinced her to leave with him after he wanted to take a tour of the destroyed Mount Regis, but since
why
they're
don't the
trapped,
trolls
she
just
doesn't
stay in
really
the
trust
golf
anybody
course?
anymore, not even her own body, as she's experiencing ticking and also experiencing random faints. She feels like she
So
lost
smart,
all
just
control
stay in the golf course so they don't get infected. And they can just lock all the infected in the golf course.
herself, and the only thing calming her down is drawing with Clay. Branch is still alive and is seemingly using a staple gun as a weapon. His health is not looking too good as it's at 35%, but he's been eating well and he's also pretty sane. But then again, he still has lost a huge chunk of one of his ears, saying, "She's gotta be out there still. I just know it." It turns out he's been in Reagan City the whole time, which they now call Melting City. He's been fighting with others, and not only has he been losing a lot of blood, but a lot of friends. And sadly, he's alone right now and defenseless because he ran out of bullets. So all it's gonna have to take is Poppy to find him. Then there's a file on our first Reagan who's named Kid Ritz. He's alone right now and defenseless because he ran out of bullets. So all it's gonna have to take is Poppy to find him. Then there's a follow on our first Reagan, who's named Kid Ritz. He's extremely healthy, but he's really sad because he misses his mom, who he probably lost during the meltdown of the city. All he thinks about are the fires and sirens and the monsters that all were once called his friends. And he was found hiding in the corner of a walk-in freezer, shivering. Surprisingly, Veneers shows up in this AU after confessing to the whole Mount Ragans that him and his sister were torturing trolls. They were arrested and put in prison, but to be honest, his sister was kind of the mastermind and manipulative one. But anyways, the status on whether or not he's infected is said to be unclear for the first time. We don't even know his current health or whether or not he's insane or not. And all he keeps saying is, "This is all my fault, Vels. I'm so sorry. I did this to us." So he's kind of beating himself up over confessing to a crime that him and his sister were partaking in. And the prison has been completely abandoned ever since the outbreak for at least 2 weeks now, so of course, he's not eating. And his sister won't to leave him alone. Meanwhile, this kid is asking their guardian if they could go across the street and play some arcade games. And they're like, okay, just make sure you bring John Dory with you. And if you hear anything, run back over here right away. And then they go and argue about which Street Fighter character they want to play as. Then the AU takes us back to Veneers' dialogue, where he says, Beth. And then they go and argue.
Look, John Dory, the stupid little tiny boy, and then stupid kids like so big.
About which Street Fighter character they want to play as. Then the AU takes us back to Veneers' dialogue, where he says, Vess, I'm sorry. This is all my fault. I did this to you. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I'm sorry I did this. I did this to you. I'm so sorry I did this to you. I didn't mean for this to happen. And on the other side of the cell, infected, is his sister, breathing heavily.
That looks so stupid. I feel like young me would be scared of that. I gotta have nightmares of that when I was young. I wouldn't be shocked if I would. It's not even that scary. I'm gonna be honest, but the art is actually really good. This actually looks like a crazy design, but
watching him from the other side, seemingly trying to get in, even biting the bars. She stops and says, "Are we still stars?"
Should be stars in a horror movie.
They look at her. While in Bergentown, Chenille tells Poppy, "We need to show you something." They turn on the TV for her and it's just static and white noise. After showing her what was on the TV, they look at her and say, "Poppy?" Poppy's crying, most likely from what she's seen on the TV, which was probably a message from Branch, showing Poppy where he's at and the condition he's in. That's when Satin tries to say, "Poppy, and then she cuts him off saying, "We gotta go after him. He's trying to warn us."
No, I'm good. I wouldn't take the risk. I'm probably gonna die. You know, it was so hard to try to find, like, all the other times you had to use a stupid big thing. And then y'all think you can make it all the way to stupid Region Town. You had to use a stupid car and it was so crazy.
You have to find him and save everyone else. And after she's done, he says, "Poppy, Gristle, we're not gonna leave him behind."
Actually, I'm gonna end the video there, guys. If you enjoyed, I might do a part 2. This gets like, 50 likes? Yeah, this is actually good, so I liked it. Oh, yeah. So if this video gets 50 likes, I'm probably gonna do the second part 2. So, yeah. Peace. Bye-bye.